I painted my front door a calm ocean blue to celebrate finally owning my own home, never imagining that one simple choice would ignite a $50,000 legal war. HOA President Linda demanded I repaint it immediately or risk losing my house. She believed her rulebook gave her absolute power, but she overlooked one critical detail. I actually read the fine print. By the time this was over, Linda didn't just lose her case. She had to stand by as the entire neighborhood turned against her. This is how I used Linda's own rules to completely dismantle her authority. Alex Miller had spent years scraping, saving, and sacrificing to buy his first home. It was a beautiful 2-story house tucked into a quiet cul-de-sac governed by a homeowners association. Alex knew HOAs came with rules, but he wanted just one small touch of personality. One Saturday afternoon, he painted his front door a soothing, elegant ocean blue. It wasn't loud or flashy. It looked perfect. But by Monday morning, a neon orange violation notice was taped to the door, flapping in the breeze like a warning flag. Standing on the lawn with a clipboard and a permanent scowl was Linda, the HOA president. Linda was infamous. Neighbors whispered about her power trips. She was known for measuring grass height with a ruler and fining people over the brand of patio furniture they owned. She didn't greet Alex. Instead, she snapped open the architectural guidelines and pointed to Section 4.2, subsection 2. It clearly stated that all exterior doors must be painted either colonial white or desert sand. No exceptions. Alex tried to explain that the blue was tasteful and actually improved the home's appearance. But Linda cut him off. I don't care about your vision, Mr. Miller. This is a regulated community. You have 48 hours to repaint or face a $100 per day fine, plus administrative fees. If it hits $5,000, we'll place a lien on your home and begin foreclosure. She smiled as she walked away, enjoying the fear she assumed she planted. Alex watched her leave, then turned back to his house. Instead of driving to buy white paint, he went straight to his home office. He pulled out the massive 200-page HOA bylaw binder he'd received at closing. If Linda wanted strict rule enforcement, Alex was going to make sure it applied to everyone. He spent the next 12 hours fueled by coffee, determination, and just a bit of spite. That's when he noticed something interesting. The guidelines hadn't been properly updated since the neighborhood was founded in 1990. Buried deep in the master charter was a historical preservation clause. It stated that all homes must adhere to the original 1990 color palette, and any deviation, regardless of later board approvals, was technically a violation unless a community-wide vote had approved the change. The next morning, Alex walked the neighborhood with his camera and a printed copy of the 1990 palette. What he discovered was pure gold. Over the decades, the board had gotten careless. Linda's own house was painted a modern slate gray, a color that didn't exist in 1990. The vice president had installed sleek charcoal roof shingles. The treasurer had poured an expensive terracotta driveway. None of it complied with the original charter. More than 80% of the neighborhood was in technical violation. Linda had been so focused on intimidating newcomers that she completely ignored her own rule-breaking and that of her friends. Alex realized he didn't need to fight Linda. He just needed to enforce the rules exactly as written. Smiling, he began drafting formal violation notices, using Linda's exact wording and penalties. Wednesday morning arrived. Instead of repainting his door, Alex hand-delivered 54 official violation notices to the HOA office, each one targeting a board member. He demanded they repaint their homes to approved 1990 colors within 30 days or face $100 per day fines. He also demanded the vice president remove his $20,000 roof and the treasurer tear out her $15,000 driveway. Panic erupted. Linda called Alex, screaming that he was being unreasonable. Alex calmly replied, "I'm just following Section 4.2 and the historical clause. Isn't that what you wanted?" Word spread fast. Homeowners who had silently endured Linda's bullying suddenly realized they could be financially ruined. Alex created a community Facebook group called Take Back Our Neighborhood and explained how Linda's enforcement had legally triggered a neighborhood-wide crackdown. The anger was immediate. By the time an emergency town hall meeting was called, tension filled the air. Linda arrived pale and shaken, clutching her clipboard. For the first time, she wasn't in control. Alex arrived with a certified copy of the bylaws and his lawyer. When Linda tried to dismiss the complaints, Alex's attorney calmly explained that selective enforcement was illegal and could bankrupt the HOA. The room exploded. Neighbors demanded Linda resign on the spot. Facing a class action lawsuit and a furious crowd, the board held an immediate vote. Linda was stripped of her presidency right there. The interim board, made up of residents Alex had rallied, passed an emergency resolution expanding the approved color palette, officially legalizing ocean blue. All fines against Alex were erased. Linda was ordered to pay nearly $15,000 in legal fees. 6 months later, she sold her house and left the state. Alex's blue door remained, a symbol of victory. The neighborhood became warmer, brighter, and friendlier. Alex never picked up a paintbrush again. Justice had been served, and the tyrant of the cul-de-sac was finally gone.